Good evening, everybody. Hope everyone's well out there. Hopefully you're doing better than me. I've been struggling with the same problem now. Plagued me for the last video or two. I've made a tiny bit of progress. We listened to a great tune there from the C64 for the game Cobra. Good evening, Moz mate. How are you? Hope you're good. Might let this tune play out. It's got about 30 seconds left. Yes, I've got this problem spinning around my head now. I'll put it on the screen. Oh, I've just done something bad on my... Oh, there we go. Yeah, I've split it into triple view because my code's quite messy right now. These are like all the relevant routines, I believe, all on screen at once. Hope it's readable. The ones we're really going to be looking at are draw flag. That's not right. Draw flag. Move flags here and here, and then flags loops. So it's a right confusion. I'll show you how confused I've got. I mean, look, I've got player speed times 200 there. I've also commented out two of the return statements here. This is checking, or it's supposed to be checking, if the flag hits 0 on the screen, and then essentially killing it at that stage by never updating it or drawing it again. But somehow that wasn't working for me, and I've gone round and round and round in circles. Somehow I've arrived back here where it kind of works, but you'll see exactly what my problem is right now. I've created a level with just 6 flags. Most of them are on the screen right from the word go, like them 4 should be. This one should appear almost immediately, and then this one, 1 second after that. Of course, they go down to 0, and if my code was working correctly, it would hit 0. Never get moved again, which is what this bit does, and never get drawn again. But we'll see what happens right now. I also changed up some colours on the screen and stuff like that, made it look a little bit better. Changed the ski up to red so it didn't clash with the player. Look, see, it kind of works, and you'd be fooled into thinking I've got it working if I just showed you that. But also there's that weird bug where one of them remains there eventually. I'm not too worried about that, but as you can see, they're not getting killed. It in fact seems like some of them are getting killed gradually there. We seem to lose 1 or 2 along the way. But now it's just repeating the same sequence over and over again. And what I think is happening there... Hello Microman, my man, how you doing? Yeah, I came online earlier, but it was quite dead in the day without you guys around. So I gave up pretty quick because I could not figure out any solution either. And I thought, oh my god, you know, I'm digging a hole for myself here. This is, believe it or not, progress. But why is that having to be 200? Right, player speed is 8. So that's 1 character cell. But if you put it on that... Oh, now that... Oh, I didn't save that. Oh, I do apologise. I thought I did. It took me ages to figure this out because I never thought that they look like they're not moving, yeah? So we've got like sub-pixel movement like we were talking about doing without even intending it. I mean, I've set that speed to 8. How is it moving like 1 pixel every 500 frames or something? And like I say, 256 times it by, so it's like 8 times 256 now. And yeah, very odd. I think the reason one of them sticks up there is if it ends up on like a position that's just under 1, or even just over 0, or just under 0. Look out, flags. And another weird thing, if you remember, Spectrum yesterday clarified that the high-low bytes are never reversed. Like, I had it under the illusion somehow that they were reversed. I think perhaps on the Nintendo NES they are, or something. Something got me confused. But look here, I have to load them in reverse just for this one. Otherwise, it doesn't work. I do the exact same thing where I load the registers in the same way and call a routine. This time, the H is this, but here I had to do it the other way around. It's so strange. I've obviously messed something up majorly here. If I put it the other way around, which is what I would have thought, what happens? I've forgotten. I've tried so many different solutions here. Yeah, look, they disappear up there and stay there, all of them. Very strange. So I was, again, almost ready to give up, really, but I'm not going to. We're so close to finishing this game, really. You might notice I drew some sprites, like, you know, I updated the sprites a little bit. We have, what do we have? That's all the same. But in here we have, you know, we've got lots of different views. And I'd love it if the speed can remain like this, because I've got so much control now. That's 256. You know, I can deviate to a real slow speed just by reducing that number. But I do fear something's wrong, like, you know, somehow it's looking correct. I tried reversing these as well, like I did here. But I'll try it again. Like I say, I've tried so many things now that I'm starting to run out, you know, to forget what I did try. Yeah, look at that. Like, I just don't get it. Did you have a peep? Oh, you saw it already, yeah. It does look kind of cool. Seeing as I didn't draw that in an art program either, I just copied and pasted what we had and drew it with ones and noughts. So something's badly up with this, but the reason I'm a bit worried is, even for the likes of someone like Spectrum, who can normally identify problems easily, this is such a spider's web of a mess, isn't it? It would take like a while to read through it and understand how I've done everything. But for example, these where I've commented them out, they should work. Like, why do they not work? You know, we probably don't see anything now. You see, I don't get it. Oh, sometimes they flash up. So sadly, I might have to rethink. I might have to end up deleting all the flag stuff, the whole lot, and just starting again. But that'd be a real shame. I think I'll push it to the GitHub now, just to, maybe then I should delete it and just try. I'll just call that like. Oh wait. I just want to try it with that like that. Whoa, hang on. That looks good now. But did you notice we only got 4 flags, and so it's killing them adequately now. But we're ending up with the same problem we had last night, where if you put one over the size of 1 byte, it just doesn't seem to work. If I put that down by 8, we'll get 5 flags. So we're back at this stupid problem. Yeah, there's the 5th flag. But it just can't cope with it if it's over 255. I fear it's this bit here that's doing it. Either that or that, which was why I commented both of them out. So that's supposed to be the upper byte, and it's checking if it's 0 and returning if it's not 0, which is fine because that's only the draw routine. So we don't want to draw one that's at that height. It'll be off the screen. Hiya, Fractal. I've got some major struggles going on here. I'll try commenting just that out, just to see what that does. Probably need to create a little cheat to get straight to level 2 now. Yeah, we still only get the 4 flags, where we should be seeing 6. And now also one of them remains there when it shouldn't. So I think that bit's okay. The thing is, that bit relies on you having called that. Things have changed quite a lot, have they, Mike? Yeah, it's getting there. I think once I solve this last problem here, which I'm halfway through doing, then I'll be able to have as many flags as I want. We're on home straight after that. Then it's just a case of making there be another flag, a certain offset, that we can reduce each iteration of the levels. So if you loop through the game like 5 times, it gets harder. Yeah, you haven't missed a great deal, to be fair. I basically just upgraded the background graphic, the color routine for the background of level 2, and added some skiing sprites. That's all I've really done. These flags don't really work. They're almost there. But this is definitely the hardest thing I've ever done in assembly language, because I've been steering clear of 16-bit numbers altogether, and now I'm like embracing them fully. I think I'll push this to the GitHub in its state right now, and then I'm probably gonna delete a lot of code. Wait, why is it saying I didn't save it? Okay. I'll make the text bigger for those of you on phones now. I'll just I'm going to start deleting nearly all of the flag code. Well, I won't delete the draw flag one actually, but the move flags. It's a shame because I bet it's just like one line of code needed probably, or something like that. Let's get rid of it. So all I did really was make this. This is new as well, but I just made another state called skiing. I could have left that as with skis because that's what state you're in when you cross the road and get into level 2. I could have just left it in that state if I wanted to, and it would have been easier because when you go back to level 1, if you complete levels like the skiing stage, you remain in the with ski state and you start at the bottom of the ski. But it'll be alright like this. I'll have a different routine for when you've completed level 2 and you want to go back to level 1. But that's all simple stuff now for me. I've done that so many times. But this one here, it looked correct. All I was trying to do was move them flags. So instead, I've deleted the move flag. Let's just draw them. See if we can get the right ones to appear in the right place first. Where did I put? It's not level 1 for a start. Right, so here's a draw code. So I'll try and leave all that untouched. We've still got our flags here, and we're expecting to see them fall. Change that name. Oh, oh God, I've changed the wrong one. I'll start putting obvious comments just to make sure I don't miss something. I was still like quite baffled as to why I had to load them backwards to get it to work. Let's give this a run and see if it appears in this order. So basically, like the lower half of the screen we should start seeing them at position 8 on X. Bear in mind there's a 2 buffer at the left hand side that we don't see as well. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's just test it by putting 1 at 32. Just make sure. Because there's been some pretty weird stuff happening when I've been trying different versions of the code. That looks pretty good though. Got to move flag, a draw flag routine. Why don't I just copy? Why does that say 0 references now? Stupid computer. Why don't I just copy that though instead? I've done something different. But surely I can just use the same approach. Like, we don't know that this stuff's working or not because we haven't moved it. You know, that's going to come into effect when we try and move it. But I guess for now, let's just try and adapt that exact code. I know what I mean by that. See, for movement of flags, we don't want to check this one. That's checking if it's too far below the screen to draw. We still want to move it if it is. Oh, we're reusing that there. So we're checking the upper byte, making sure that that is 0, because we will turn out if it's not. Then we check. Then we basically, I should just do the same thing now. That's no good. That's no good. Let's do that. I think that's what I just deleted, isn't it? But by my calculations and with the help of Spectrum yesterday, that should check. And if H and L are both 0, it will return. Only then. So we're basically saying, oh, we're at 0, 0. Ah, I think that's the flaw in my logic there. I bet if we put that to 0, it would work. Of course, that would be off the screen to the left, though. That's the flaw in the logic there. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm wrong. This H and L are all the Y position. 16-bit, of course. So that should be okay, actually. So that's basically saying is the Y position 0 and return. This one here says return if Y upper byte equals 0, but does not equal 0. Okay, then it gets to the nitty gritty of actually loading just L. Like I say, we checked H was 0, so it loads just L into E. That's only to draw it anyway. What we want to do is move it this time. Not load H. HL is the one that's holding our position we're talking about already. So I just want to do that really. It's a tough one. I'm trying to think, is that going to actually change the value of the flag, or is that just going to change the value in the register and do nothing more? And if so, do I then need to go load IX H, load IX plus 1 L? And if that's the case, do I just need to make sure IX is equal to the flag as well, or not? My brain's a bit frazzled here. Hang on. Let's go to split screen again for a second. Just two of them. We've got this one on there, and then let's do it in the player with ski. Not with ski. Player level 2. Skiing. So it's almost identical to what I did before, but maybe a little tidier. Call move flag. It's going to move them all every frame. Of course, this is going to check if they get to 0 and not bother updating them. Don't need to worry about doing that here. I think with the drawing, I have to have another one like move flags. That loops them. That was why I popped B here, because I want to use it. For that. So in here I want to call move flag, and load the right one somehow. It's looking very similar to what I already arrived at earlier in one of the versions, but maybe there is just one subtle difference, who knows. I mean, right now it's using H and L to check the values. It then actually decreases speed from H and L. I don't think that is adequate though, that's why I've used this IX here. That's what I'm not sure about. Whether I can do it without IX here. It's got to put it back into this value somehow from the register. And that's why I think I have to use IX to point at it. Oops. Let's try that. I should probably look at the draw, but it's slightly different to draw, you see. Draw just wants its position given to it. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't need to affect its position. Just needs it passed down. So it is a bit different. I think that's going to be needed. And then here we've got a load. To go to the next flag, we'll do ink IX, DJ NZ, move flags. That's going to knock down B by 1 and go up to the next flag and start again. So IX will be already in the right place for this. I need to get H and L with the value. That's what I'm thinking though. Do I even need H and L? See if that's legal. Nah. Right. Maybe I was onto something there though. But in that case, it's looking remarkably similar to what we had before I deleted it. I don't see how that wouldn't work though. Like, in fact, it looks now that it would work straight away. Just give it a run and see. Sometimes I end up facing up there, I've noticed, even though I've checked and it tells it to go down, it face down. Maybe I'm just holding W to start for too long or something. Right, that's interesting. It's drawing them correctly, but not moving them at all. I bet it moves if you wait there long enough. I bet it moves one. Maybe not. I mean, it doesn't look like it, but just as a quick test, I'm going to try times 200 here. I don't know whatever made me do that in the first place, but it seemed to help before. It just came to me, and then it worked. No, this time it doesn't even move them. Interesting. So is it returning out before, for whatever reason? Let's try comment them out. What I would have thought would happen here is it would get down, it would decrease it so much that it would end up setting the negative flag and counting backwards. And if that was the case, that could be why we're not seeing them on the screen. Actually, that could be why. It could be setting the negative flag, which is the top bit of the whole 16. I think that might be what's happening. Oh wow, they shouldn't even be moving very fast. I haven't got them set to move fast. It's like they just flash up and God, I've had all these problems earlier. That was all to do with the movement routine, though. You see, if I comment all of that out, they'll draw completely fine. Yeah. Oh. I mean, the ones saved to GitHub at least has the flags moving. But maybe this is a bit cleaner if I can get it working. There's slightly less jumbled code. I highly doubt this will make a difference. But I was thinking of putting it up there anyway, so I might as well try it. Yeah, no difference. Yeah, I did make the background for the UI black and pink ink. But annoyingly, the way we're writing the text on this program here, it just changes the colour. So I've got to find a way of changing the colour using the ASCII command, I think. Just take a drink in a sec. Alright. Oh god, I've been doing and throwing with this problem all day. I failed to see how that's not moving it. Obviously that's going to make no difference, is it? It seems better to have it done in the function to me. It's painful on the brain, this one. I'm going to make a smoke, sod it. Sometimes problems fix themselves while I'm doing that. Just out of interest, does it move? Why? Like I'm failing to see why it doesn't move at all. There's a call to it. Okay. So the only explanation is one of these returns. I'm going to try loading them reverse just to see, because I had to do that somewhere else. I'm still not, I'm a little bit hazy on whether to reverse them or not. See, now they're moving kind of like you would expect, but why are they flickering? In fact, that's actually perfect, other than the flicker. Let me try and add, like, 4 more. I'll do them too near to each other like this, so that we'll know they're the last ones. So they're going to kind of overlap each other. And if we do see that, that's a step forward actually. Especially if we only get one iteration of them, because that means it's getting killed correctly. So there's the first 4. We should see a few more in a second. Nah. No, in fact 4 was the giveaway. In fact, there was only 4, because this 5th one should have appeared quickly. And again, we'll see the same thing that we saw a minute ago. If I put it down to just under 1 byte, we'll see 5 now. But the thing is, yeah, there's the 5th one. Am I somehow using an 8-bit register and forgetting somewhere? It seems to me that the movement code, which I'm relying on putting all of them down, the drawing code seems to work fine to me. But it will of course only draw stuff that's 176 or lower. That's good. But we need the movement code to decrement all of them. And it seems to ignore the ones that are over 255. Or it's getting stuck at some point in the countdown, like possibly at 255. But I have tried so many iterations of this. I'm not sure why I had to put them backwards again as well. Where's the draw code? Wait up. When I say the draw code, I mean where I call the draw flags. Yeah, it's backwards there as well. Just try it the right way around. See, that's comparing it like it's the upper byte. It's so confusing how I had to switch them around to get it to work. I just don't get it. No. I bet if I sit in the screen long enough, you'll see them flash up periodically. Or maybe not. Maybe they've been killed. Somehow or another. So how strange that we have to load these backwards. I've got to ask Spectrum about that when he's about next. I've got to remember that if I'm still suffering with this problem. Because I have to switch both them around. And I'm sure he said that they were all not reversed. But I do remember reading something about the HL being reversed or something. Alright, why the flip they're flashing, I don't know. But See, wait. I reversed it here, but not when I loaded it back. And also, I'm checking in here for that higher byte, but really that's the lower byte, isn't it? Unless it does reverse. I think I just messed this right up. Oh god, I'm back here where they're stuck all up there. Right, one thing at a time. All I've done now is switch that. Hey! How many was that? Just 4 again, wasn't it? At least they're not flickering, but... Ah. Yeah, it's that same thing. It's nothing really to do with drawing. If they move down to a low enough number, the drawing code will draw them. Let's just try it. I'm desperate at this stage. Have I just arrived back where I just started? Where have I put 200? No, they're not even moving. So the reason for that is because I changed these around. Which means it doesn't make sense. Load L with IX, load H with IX plus 1. You know, that must be the wrong way round. It must be reversed. I'm going to Google it a sec. HLZ80 reversed. See what it's... Thing is, I tried that earlier and it came up with reversed engineering and all this stuff. Oh well, I can't find nothing useful in a quick Google search. I could be stuck on this for a long time, but I think when I do figure it out, it's a big step forward. Because I'll probably understand, by the end of figuring this out, we'll probably understand a lot about the 16-bit numbers, which will let us make velocity and stuff like that. Need a good understanding of how this all works. That's really spinny. L is like the highest bit of the number, but then it acts like the lowest bit when you're in here. So remind me what happens when I back it like that. Yeah, it looks great, but we've only got the 4 of them. That same problem. Same. Wait, that's why, isn't it? I don't want that there. That's only for the draw code. That was saying if the upper byte wasn't 0, get out. But didn't I try that already? Ah! And there's the last lot. Ah, it's GG for the Saga. Saga does not continue. It's finished. Forget about the X. I'm not worried about the X because that's just bytes. If it wasn't, I'm using words for them for Y. I would like to make, and I might have to make a vector so that there's the positions that are linked together, because that would be easier to iterate through and say, right, what's the flag's X and what's its Y, and then I could just iterate through a certain number to get to that. But that would require having X as a word when you don't actually need it. And if there's like, what, 50 flags, that's a waste of data, isn't it? I'm thinking of having flag X, current flag X, and having previous flag X. Randomly generating this one time, and then basing my next calculation off that. That way I wouldn't need to store any X values. Do you see what I mean? So that's what I'm thinking about doing. But if that doesn't work, I'll fall back and just make word-sized X that will just happen to only be between 0 and 25, or less than that actually. It'll be between 3 and 21. That's how small the range is. But right now, I'm just going to focus on, just pretend the X value is irrelevant. All I want is to make a hill full of flags. I want to be able to work out how big this hill is. You know, if we think about like if we think about a unit size of 8 being 1 meter, let me just think. I'd say, let's say 32 is 1 meter. It's only a rule of thumb in my head just to work out roughly how long a hill will be. And it's better to think about it in time, really. But we're incrementing by 8 each time at full speed. In fact, that's half speed, isn't it? We're going to really want to go at 16 per second at full speed so that we can, well, it's only because of the colour thing, that, to be honest, but Just the way I've set up the colour, it needs to be locked to the character cell. Eventually I'll modify the colour drawing code to just snap it the colour, so you'll be able to leave the character cell with your pixels, but the colour won't move until you snap to the next cell. Anyway, how long do I want this skiing level to be? A lot longer than that. I'm going to say 30 flags. Was that 10? 5, 10. Sometimes you just want to think of a quick way. It's got to be a multiple of 8 as well. Is that too long? 4,000. I think 4,000 is only going to take like 5 to 10 seconds to get to. Right, sod this. Right. Most of them I don't care. I'm just going to put a little string at the end. The last 3, so I'll put them like that. But then this one I'm going to just do 4,000, 4,001, 4,002. So that's the end of the level. I'm just seeing how long it takes to get to there at that scale. Because that looks, I'd say 30 flags is about right for a level. Maybe that's a bit too many. Probably about right. We'll soon see. Of course, the layout's going to be horrible. I'm more worried about how long it takes to get to the end. We're looking for them 3 in a row. It's a long level. This is that long gap. There is a long gap in the middle that I made. Hopefully it gets there. Maybe it hasn't. It's not crashed. I'll keep waiting to see if it does. Shouldn't have put such a big gap in the middle. How big is that? Oh, is that too big? Wait there, is that number too big? No. 40,000. They're not going to appear though. Shame. Perhaps it doesn't like having 30 of them. Try it out. I've still left that big gap. Maybe something's going wrong here with the big numbers. I have to count the flags here. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here's where the big gap is as well. I just wonder if we ever get to there. We'll keep looking. Seems to never get there. Delete this 9 then. Put a few more. So definitely won't miss them. And there they are. Alright, but that's not long enough at all, is it? I'll change pixels per cell in this file only to just call it ski unit. Leave it in here for now. Ski unit. Alright, so that's doubled. Double the length of the level just by doing that. Let's see if it can handle them. Trying to figure out if it's the size of the number or the size of the array that's messing it up. Of course I've just stretched it out because I've just changed the unit size. You want to see a flurry of about 10 of them near the end, really near each other. And there they are. Okay, good. Perhaps I just wasn't being patient enough. I had a really big number. You know, it probably was too long. That's already close to being good. As a cheat, I'm just going to change all numbers 15 times 15 to times 25. In fact, 35, sod it. So again, we'll have a big long gap. We'll see 7 and then there'll be a little bit of a gap. I'm mainly at the moment, like I say, just wanted to check how long the level lasts. Trying to work out what number I need for that. So that's the 7th. We'll get the gap. What was that? Now a gap and then a flurry. Do I keep missing them or something? Because it doesn't like. Ah, here you go. I just haven't got the patience. So in a minute there'll be a flurry. Hopefully any second now. I have faith that it will appear. This would be a long level now if this was the whole level. And there they are, brilliant. Okay, excellent. So I'm going to suggest from that 300 should be the top one. And then we'll go down from there, of course. Right, so now that I'm content with them, for a starter, let's turn my attention to coming up with an algorithm to set the X position from the flag. And we're going to be able to improve on Horace Goes Skiing by having a random X position for the first flag, and then we'll just calculate a very small offset for the next bunch of flags below it. I think I'm going to shrink the text down because it's putting me off this size of font. I need it down smaller by one. How does that appear on stream? Is that readable? Let me know in the comments on YouTube or whatever if it's not, because it looks readable on my end, but it's hard to say on a phone. I've used the word spawn there very, very loosely. I'm really just going to randomly choose an X value for it. We're never going to change the Y. We're back in that lovely territory of just 8-bit numbers again. Feels at home. Let me think here. I only want it to be a value of naught, well, in fact, more than naught. It's got to be between 2 and 23. And even then, that's right at the edge of the screen. We don't want flags spawning there. And also, there's going to be another flag that I spawn to its right. So the range is very little. I'm going to create some more constants. Not ski. Flag min x. Sorry. I'm going to make it 4 because 2 is the margin you don't even see on the screen. The player can't even reach that below 2. And I also want a bit of a buffer so you don't have to go all the way to the edge of the screen. So that's the number I'm going to use. Now, as I say, I'm using something called the current gap. So a flag will be spawned, and then 5 cells to the right, another one will be spawned using that same value there. The flag is 1 cell width, so the maximum I could get away with drawing it would be 23. But to make it symmetrical, it's 21. Take away 5. I'm just going to hard code 16 there. So actually, that's convenient, isn't it? These are like multiples of each other, and they're multiples of 8, so we can use like binary bitwise trick if we want to multiply it or whatever. But my main reason that I'm happy with that being that way is the AND operator. I can use that to just reduce that random number down to a size that I want. The problem is this 4 offset that I want. I want it to be a minimum of 4, and that's going to be a problem because you can do AND 16, you can do AND 15, and that will give you a value of 0 to 15. But I want a number between 4 and 16. That's not so easy. Let me look at my bitwise calculator again. I think I might be able to do 7. Maybe I could do 2 7s. Yeah. So, what's the best way here then? I think I'll use Moz's trick. Just do and 15 plus 1, and if it's less than 4, I'll just do it again. Okay. There's a drawback with this: in later levels the gap shrinks, and I'm using a constant that obviously you can't change, but I'll have to figure that out. That's right near the end, when I've nearly finished making the game. I'll figure that out. Right, that should be good. I love that trick, it's so simple. I hope it's not frowned upon, because I don't think there's any chance of it getting stuck there too long. So when we get to this stage, we've got our random number between that value. I basically want to set current flag X to that. Now when I'm drawing the flags, hang on, I'm not going to get away with doing this method. Damn it. I really didn't want to have to put another bunch of words for the X value. It's going to really complicate everything. But the problem is, I might, with my routine that I'm thinking of making right now, I could imagine flags starting to move about as they scroll and get drawn again. There's no way of locking it in unless I just make another array the same size. That's actually maybe a good shout. And I just go through that in the same order. Might be okay. Let's try it. It's not Y, it's X. For now, I think I'll just hard code it as 6 with 20 of them. If that works, obviously I'll change a couple of them and see if I can get them to properly do it. Right. So, I don't need to move that. I don't need to do anything with it. All I need to do is when I draw, use that. And the draw code's in here actually conveniently. Here I'm hard coding the X. I've forgotten where I call this from. I believe level 2. Yes. I think IY is going to be the answer here for me. Probably frowned upon and wrong because they're slower, these registers, and I often do run into times where I think I'm running out of processing power, and that's why I'm getting bugs. But do that. I think it's just a case of doing that. And of course, that, which is stupid because now I've got IX as the Y values and IY as the X, but let's live with that for a minute. No problems, micro. So let's see if we just see him at the 6 for now. I shouldn't have put 6 because that's very similar to 8 where we had him before, but I think that was working. I mean, I could, in Horace, go skiing, the slopes, that they're pre-programmed like that. So I could already do that now, couldn't I? If I don't want to do a random, maybe I'll do that. I'm just going to run it and leave it on the road scene because it's more interesting than looking at a blank page because I've just got to go and use the loo basically. But I'll be back in 1 minute. What do you say? Okay, I'm back. And I think we've just solved the problem as well. So it's now a case of pre-planning the level. Yes, it's awkward that we've got 2 different arrays for the positions. I'd love to switch them around as well. The IX and my Y. But I'm not going to. I might do that tomorrow when I'm watching TV. You know, it's too boring to do right now. I think this first one comes a bit early as well. I'm seriously trying to lay out the level now, so I'm going to have another look at it one more time. I think it starts a bit early, the flags. I'm actually going to speed up the skiing as well when you're facing straight down. I don't know, maybe it starts about right. Yeah, because that would be the very bottom of the screen, I think, really. So we start off nice and slow, give them a nice amount of space. And they'll all be in order. So this max and that now is irrelevant. Wherever it was. Alright, so then we'll have another one at 21. Not 21, a bit below it. 26. That'll also be at 16, but now we're cutting inside, so we'll do. Oh dear. I forgot where I was. So let's have a look at that. We've done a little first bit of the assault course, slalom course, whatever you want to call it, ski slope. Can't move yet, but yeah, that's looking good. Remember, I'm going to repeat the flag. Looking pretty good. I wish I could put them next to each other so I could easily see what one I was on. Guess I probably can. Alright. So I can already see I'm going to have a lot more flags than I've got. The last one's going to be 300, I can pretty much remember that. Okay, let's see what that looks like. And that's enough to make a start on that. Now I'll actually add the other flag and then the movement. That'll make it look a lot better. At the moment it looks a bit crap, but it'll look good when we've got, you know, a gate of flags. And it's very simple as well. We just do it in the draw code of the flag. We call it once to draw there, then we just want to change the position. Which is the X value only, of course. Just wonder, does HL get destroyed in that? Yes, it does. So that's getting the X position again, and I'll just add a gap, current gap, called draw sprite 816, and that should be sufficient. Oh no, non-existent instruction, I've done something wrong here. Of course the add, so it doesn't like doing that. That's annoying. Also I didn't check, does BC get destroyed in here? Yeah. So in that case, I'm going to load B, current gap, load AB, add AB, load BC, flag sprite. Again, I'm sure it can be way more optimized, but I'm happy just to get it working if it does. No, damn, what done here then? So that's where I load it into B. So I have to use A. What a pain. So in that case, just do it in that order instead. That's got to work now. Come on, let's see this. This will make it look a lot better. Of course, I need a better flag sprite. Oh, it hasn't worked. Damn. Wonder why not. Oh, I saw a mystery ghost flag there. Should add the gap to it. I've no idea why that doesn't work. I don't think it's changed anything what I've just done. Because I don't see the point of push popping it again. I can just do that. Tricky one. Well, I say tricky, I mean, it seemed really simple to me in my head. I just draw it here with the position, and then I draw it again with a slightly different X position. Aha! I forgot to load D or E. That's what it is. So that's doing the gap. A's the right gap now. So load D with A there. Load E with L there. So we definitely do want to pop HL there at the very least. Which means push it again there. What about BC? See, BC is okay because I just reload it. And the reason I push and pop it there is just to keep the iterator that's holding the number of flags. Let's give that a whirl. Come on. Well, it's a start. It's not right. Ah, get out of the way. That's just made me doubt everything now. Beginner move. Yeah, he hasn't learned how to move yet. He can turn. He can turn on his skis. But you know, only knows how to go straight on. Just go back to how I was and just try and make sure these are drawing in the right position. I was convinced they were drawing in the right position a second ago. Yeah, that's fine now. So it's just that offset. Didn't like. It was like I was doing it on the Y by mistake or something. Cheers, Micro. I do worry because this one doesn't quite look as impressive as the original Mikey game, or Spiky game. But this is getting more complete now, isn't it? It's getting nearly complete, so it's exciting. I'll just check the size of the tape as well, actually, while I'm at that, because we might have space for like music and a few extra better sprites and stuff like that. Yeah, we're still only at 22 kilobytes, so I think we've got, you know, coming up to 10 kilobytes still. I mean, I start it quite late because I leave that space for the buffer memory, so I think that we've got to take that into account as well. But we've still got quite a few bit of space there. Right, let me figure out why we're. Oh, you know what? I could just push DE here. Pop DE here. Also push HL again here and pop it. For reasons unknown, but it was already done on this one. I don't actually think it's necessary, but I'm going to make sure I do keep that. I don't know why I'm working backwards, sometimes it just helps. The reason I pushed and popped DE was now it's the exact value I want to pass in, except I want to add the offset in. I think I could just do, which one was the X? It's D, look. So Load AD. Add a gap. Load DA. And that's it. Let's try it. Oh dear. I hate these. I never see these coming. Like, why is that not allowed? I'm sure we've done that before. It's not like in that line. How annoying. I've done it the wrong way around. Okay. Maybe that'll work. Just reading your messages. Yeah, no worries, no worries. They're always going to be uploaded to YouTube if you miss any and you want to watch it back. Just reading yours, Micro. It's slowly fading away. It's got some beautiful little things on it, the Spikie, hasn't it? So little problems to work out. Stumbles in success. That DZOG thing, oh my god. Yeah, I will get there and eventually on that. Before I start my next project, I'm going to just do a tiny project and make sure I integrate DZOG entirely into that. The key is that JSON thing, isn't it? Understanding that completely, and then you're away. It's like a build instruction, basically, isn't it? But that's about all I know. Don't know how it works or anything. Yeah, yeah. It's like it gives you the functionality of just pressing F5 and being able to build from within the IDE. It's pretty cool. I guess it's a bit like Gradle. Have you ever used Gradle? Like, it used to confuse the hell out of me when I was an Android developer a long time ago. Gradle's probably come on a long way since then, but it was pretty insane back then. But it's similar to that, I think, but Gradle's just much more in depth, more stuff to know. Well, I say that, but I don't know a single thing about DZOG yet, so. But I think it's similar. Not sure what's wrong with this though. Have I tried this version of the code yet? I'll better just try it just in case. Oh, it didn't compile, did it? Oh, it does. Oops. I want to change the random seed soon, but we're using that other guy's random function. Oh, look at this. What the hell's going on there? Whoa. Do you know what? Let's just try disable interrupt, enable interrupt like we did before. Maybe missing a pop, yeah, but I didn't think I was. Ah, it's the wrong way round, that's probably why. Good shout. I think that might be the answer. Yeah, that looks better. I forgot what else I just changed. I changed something else. Oh, this EI thing. The only thing that'll do is slow the game down. I can't see it breaking it. And of course, it's only when we're in the skiing level. To be honest, it could. Oh my god, that was a funny breakage. That was like a game start thing. I'll try just getting rid of this first. If not, I'll go through this again. Cool, I should have saved it when I had it working. I'm going to get it working in a minute and put it to GitHub. Because I did at least have it working a minute ago. Just without the extra flag. Oh god, it's horrible. Oh, look at that, it hasn't fully crashed. It just wrote to all the colour memory. I'm definitely missing popping something, isn't I? Count the pushes versus the pops. Yeah, I think I got them. 1, 2, 3 pushes, 2 pops, but then 1 pop and 1 push and 2 pops. That'd be the order. But the order looks good as well. Because if you imagine their like section like that, and you've got that pair, and then 2 pairs. Strange one. I'm going to go right back to how we had it a minute ago and get that put on GitHub. I believe it was like that. Without that. Pop PC was backwards. Oh damn, I've just deleted it. Thing is, I've started to get worried. I just wanted to get it back to that working state so I can push it to GitHub. Because I might never get back there otherwise. Spent ages today. Oh no. What have I done here? Oh my goodness. I don't even think you can undo it indefinitely on this version. Try to get all the way back. Okay, let's try that. Oh, I have to save it to do that though. Come on, Spikie. See these flags. Okay. Okay, that's going on GitHub. Because the beauty of pushing to GitHub regularly is when you have, I've got GitHub desktop installed on my computer, and I can easily browse all the files here, and it only shows me the ones I've changed, and then it easily shows what lines I removed and what I added. It makes it very easy to see where you went wrong sometimes. It's really useful. And you can go back in history and just look at every different push you've ever done. I'll just put flags nearly working, and then I'll kind of remember for a while what that means. Right. So it was that push HL that it didn't like by the looks of it. So that must be what's causing the problem, push HL. The problem is I need HL to point. I don't need to worry at all about pushing HL anyway. It gets instantly wiped there. Oh, of course that's why I'm worried about it. And the reason for that is there's no reason for it. There is no reason to worry about HL. IX and IY I don't want to change. I'll just try and be super simple and just copy it like that. The only thing I want to do is somehow add that gap. For example, if I just do add A4, it's going to work, isn't it? Oh, it still does. Whoa, that was a weird effect. I did not expect that. The other one went down. That was mental. Because I'm getting so confused. Sometimes it seems like they're backwards and sometimes it's not. I know full well that IY is pointing at the correct IX, the X value of the flag. And I've just added 4 to it. I really don't get what the problem is. Let's try just adding 1. So they're going to be right next to each other. That's where they should be. That is a weird bug. It comes from the top of the screen, goes down and crashes the game. Like, don't forget I'm moving the X. It's because they're reversed and all that rubbish, isn't it? That's not going to do jack. It messed the sprite up. Oops, bloody hell. Almost time to install a cheat to get straight into level 2. But I don't want to go and change the actual code because I like the way it works right now. I can't be bothered to change it. But maybe I could make a button that just takes me to level 2. The only thing I can think right now is just try load AL, add A to add EA. Like this should move it downwards, so they should be below the flag. But if it moves it to the side, then I'm completely blown away as to why. But I might as well try it. It's the same thing. It's got to be a register getting corrupted that I've not taken into account then. I'm just doing that so I can tidy up the code, like the pushes and pops a bit. Let's just make sure that works. It seems to work perfectly. In this code, this is where the problem is. We're killing HL. Of course we're going to kill A. I'm pretty sure we're even killing DE. One day I can be sure I'll take on coder mix and spec chums advice, and I'll just get to the habit of push popping up things like before I do a function, like inside the routine, you know. But it's just killing beasts. It's basically killing all the registers. So I guess let's just try. Other than BC, when do I want to do it though? Yeah, I think for now. I don't think IX and I wired anything in there. No. It might just be them two. I think I tried this earlier, didn't I? Pop HL, pop DE. Let's try it just like that. And see if they should just be drawn on top of each other. But they shouldn't crash the game or anything. It's crashed. Let's just try that, see if it crashes. Yes, it does. Whoa, got some sounds. Somehow we're calling the sound beeper with the key press. It didn't actually crash it. That was quite funny. That sort of taught me something there. You know, somewhere I can just poke a bit of memory and get a noise like that. I'm just reading your side track. Okay. There probably is good code for the beeper. I created that one routine, like a bunch of routines, done different noises for different amounts of time. But it involved calling a Spectrum ROM address, and it stopped the game while it was playing it. So you could, fair enough, you could have one just for like 1/60th of a second if you wanted. But if you wanted to have one that was 1 second long, you know, you'd have to freeze the whole game froze. Ink control, yeah, I think so. There was like there was two different formulas you had to work out basically and feed two different values. 16-bit, I think it was, as well. Like it was like frequency divided by duration or something. I ended up understanding it, but I still couldn't figure out how to do it without interrupting the program. Yeah, it's in one of my videos. I'll soon get to it again in this game, but I am a bit dreading it. I might end up just using it just for like game start and death and stuff where it doesn't matter if the game stops. But I would like to have car horns and the sort of engine sounds. So that crashes the game, even without this code. It's sort of like a library what I was writing, yeah. It was just, I've got it here, I can bring it up on screen. but it's nothing special. In fact, I think it is on the GitHub stuff. No, maybe not. I hope I haven't deleted it. I've got a really old version of it here, but I added to it somewhere else. But yeah, like, so that'll call like G. That'll be a note of G for 0.125 seconds. And here's the calculation that so DE wants duration, and that's frequency times by seconds. Here's the frequencies. So you have to work that out, put that into DE, and then pitch is that. Yeah, it's clever. I didn't understand it at all at first, but once I started using it, I kind of got what it was doing. But I never would have figured that out if I didn't have a book telling me exactly how to do it. Yeah, very simple stuff. But sadly, in fact, I might as well import this into my own project, my current one. Huh. Oh, here. Yeah, that's there for later. But more importantly, why the heck is that causing a crash? Does it again? I failed to see how this would work just by removing that, but I also failed to see how it won't work since we've had this working already. And there it is. So all I did was remove push and pop. That's insane. Whoops. And there we go. What the hell's going on there then? I didn't realise that could happen just by doing push and pop. Yeah. That's weird, isn't it? That's kind of shattered how my like brain thought it worked. I mean, I don't really need to push and pop it. I could just load them again. I was actually just trying to save from loading them again. I'm just gonna, because I'm going mad now, I'm gonna double check that does work. I'm sure it does. I can't wait to add the movement really, but I've got to get them second flags. I genuinely thought this would take 2 minutes to add them second flags. Yeah, I was making skid noise like a car. Right, so can I get away with just pushing, popping HL then? Because if I can, I think this will be alright. No. What the hell? That's got to be something to do with my double buffering routine. That happens. Just out of interest, let's stick a halt. Stick a halt here and do it. No good still. But weirdly enough, it did go to a different sort of. Did do something different. If this worked. That's normal. Oh my god. Oh, there we go. It's corrupted BC. Somehow. Cause I don't know how, because we load. It's actually working. Don't know how BC got corrupted. Oh, my key presses were changing. So it really doesn't like these push pops. I cannot believe that. So now what am I supposed to do? Because HL changes, and I need to use it to put it into D and E. Let's roll the smoke. I'll figure the answer out then. That's one thing I love about game dev though. When you get deep into a game you're making, you just really enjoy it. The time goes by so quick, and you don't think about gaming or anything, you know. And even when I'm watching TV shows, I still end up just jumping into the code, having a little browse. It just becomes proper enjoyable, you know. It's one of them hobbies, isn't it? The more you get into it, the more fun it is. And of course, everything's free. You know, you don't have to pay. I find that mental that's breaking that. Yeah, I used to put loads of comments, Micro. I did, but the one downside of comments is when you're debugging like this and you're changing stuff over and over again, you forget to change that. You think, oh, I've changed it enough times, I'll change it later. You then forget completely, and then you're later skimming through it trying to debug, and you see the thing and you think, okay, that's doing that, that's doing that. So that's the only downside of too many, especially if you've got like loads of comments. Because really, you should be able to work through it, and if you don't understand, then you can go to view references and just make sure it's loaded with the right stuff. Obviously, you can have split view, and really just stepping through it bit by bit is better than comments, really. Of course, them ones at the top, they are crucial, I swear, because sometimes you just forget that you've got to load the register. But each to their own, of course, of course. I mean, if I was going to write code that I wanted other people to take advantage of, I'd most certainly comment above each function, like Bazinga did here. That looks very nice and pretty. When I hover over that, in any function, it comes up with a nice dialog box. So that's a good little tip. But yeah, there are downsides to having too many comments as well, in my opinion. And like I say, the main reason for now is because I know I'm going to be just changing every line over and over again. Yeah, I think that notes thing you just mentioned there is crucial. That's what I should do. Sometimes I overlook that on like out of laziness, and I pay for it later by not adding something and not including it when I call it, and spending ages debugging a routine that already works. That really is crazy that you can't push and pop HL or DE there. I mean, just out of interest, I'm just going to try and push IX and pop it. No. Very flipping weird, that. As far as I knew, the push pop instruction is really quick. It's not like it's going to have slowed it down massively just by adding that one push and pop. I might just give up on them flags for a while. Leave them as with just one. No, because it's getting late in the video anyway. I was going to say I'd add the movement of the player, but I don't want to start two problems up if I can't do that first go. I'll just spend some time trying to figure this out. HL flag X, flag Y. Matey Boy was telling us how IX and IY are slow. So Maybe all this use of them, maybe this loop is running really slow or something. Um, I can't really do that any earlier because it could get out without popping. As a silly test, I'll put a copy of that, and I'll just put like, what would the word be for like a flag that's like a pear? I'll do. Actually, it's not that one I want a second one of. It's this one. Let's just see if I can do it now. Just because really, IY gets the X value. I just need to make sure I add it to that. I'm going to try just adding 4 to it so I can use a constant right now. That was your micro, that's funny. I think that's about as small as I can get away on the text. Any smaller it'd be hard to read, which is no good at all. I will try this. I think it's ready. Oh. Oh, wait there. I mustn't get confused because that's loading the Y position, both of them. So, unfortunately, I need 2 of both to try this method out. Like I say, this was just another stupid way of doing it. Like my stupid way where I end up with copies of everything. But at least we'll see if this works by doing this. That's good, it's fine, yeah. I've got a horrible feeling this is going to work, but you know, I've got to think of a better way. I can't have two. Oh, it worked for a second there, didn't it? You see that? The first one. It's for a short second. Interesting. I wonder if I put it above. Maybe it is too slow. No, that's still drawing them original ones, isn't it? It really doesn't like drawing this pair. Let's have a look what happens again here. I'm even going to let's put a little hole in there. Halt doesn't have a great deal of effect. I just saw it for like 2 frames or something. Let's just try 2, just out of interest here, just to see if that goes to. We're only going to see it for 2 frames. That's the annoying thing. It probably doesn't even show up on the stream. Oh, I didn't get skis. Yeah, it's in the right place, but it just vanishes very shortly after. Of course, everything vanishes and reappears 50 times per second, you know. So it's only getting drawn like twice, and then it gives up for some reason. Most odd. Most odd. I'll probably wrap it up in a minute anyway. It's getting very late here now. Time flies by when you're having a problem like this. To be quite honest, I'll probably reset back to the GitHub version that I pushed very short time ago. Which wouldn't take a lot. I could just delete this, basically, and the other one. Oh, that's so strange, man. I wonder, is it just too many sprites? We've had it before. Months ago, when I first started out, we had this problem. We ended up finding out that it was getting drawn, like all the code was working, just wasn't getting drawn in time. It seems it vanishes when the other flag appears, maybe. Let's just try it. It's a right pain, but let's try 15. If my theory's correct here, we'll see it a little bit longer now. I can't see it being a problem. I mean, it can't be the problem because the cars are way more intensive. You know, we get loads of cars on screen. So I'm pretty sure this ain't going to work. Oh, it does work. So the reason for this is, this IX and IY combo must be more slower than I'm giving it credit for. I'm glad I did that because I could have spent ages trying to debug this. And we just saw it working there. They'll vanish now because there'll be too many on the screen, I guess. Or some other reason, but it doesn't even get moved. Second one. So weird. The only thing I'm going to do then is I'm going to put that back to 15. And I'll go to bed after this. Put it back to 15. I want to sort it out so it uses the actual gap, so I can at least reduce that, which means a lot of effing about here. Right, so now we should see one to make that gap 4. Now let's try 5. Oh, that doesn't work. It doesn't like that gap. If I use a constant, let's just try 5. Okay, that's stupid. What's going on? So it works if I use a constant, not if I use the value. Let's try that then. It should just do the same thing. It shouldn't be any different. Oh, it doesn't even work. Okay. I thought I could do that. No, that's no good. Don't think you can do that. Oh, you can. I'm so confused. I didn't know you could just load a constant into D. And it works. So I'll leave it there, but the next thing I'm going to do when I wake up, or when I get into doing this next, is find a way of not using IY for the X values. I'm sure I can use another register. All that, the whole lot of that secondary stuff there, all of that second copy of this and this, is all because we couldn't push DE or HL in here. So I've got to just basically figure out why that is. But yeah, I appreciate all of you for watching. Feel free to check me out on YouTube, leave a comment. I noticed as well I had a bunch of followers. I forgot to say thanks for that. A bunch of new followers, and I believe that's because of a tweet someone called Hello Computer sent out. Thanks, Microman. Yeah, so a big thank you to Hello Computer and the other followers. There was about 5 of them, I think, and it came. I noticed a Twitter post from Hello Computer saying that he started to watch my channel, and it was after that I got all them follows. So I can only say thank you for that, and continue watching the channel. Hopefully it's going to get better. I mean, we've run into quite a lot of problems here, but once I do get my head around these 16-bit flag drawings, we're really there then. We've just got to do the collisions and add the trees in the same manner, and then do the fine tuning. So yeah, thanks again for watching. See you soon, Microman. See you soon, everybody else. I'll be on tomorrow. I've got a day off again, so some point in the day I will be on, and then definitely in the night. Seem to get a lot more views at night, so I'll certainly be on. Take it easy till then, guys. See you again soon.